love. If you can tell me what that means to people as far as individual love and we'll say universal love. Maybe you can give me your bent on it. How do
Okay,
you
first of all, everybody tries to go to the outside to get love. Somebody loved me, mother loved me, girlfriend loved me,
That's
boyfriend
right.
loved me. Love is what you're made of. Energy is vibrating, that's love. So we're made of love, so we don't need anybody to love us.
Why don't we need anyone to love us though? I mean, aren't we taught that, the other is very important, the
That's the
connection?
problem. We're taught the other and ourselves are nothing. So without the other, we're empty.
So in other words, having someone say that we're a good person or we're kind means more to us than being just that.
That's right.
I see.
And so the other person who has the power to say, I love you, can always take it away and then you're nothing. And so since we're still little children, we haven't grown up, we still have the same behavior. They say, scientists say that after 5 years old, your behavior is set.
Yes, that's what they say.
So now you have the problem that somebody else has more power than you, over yourself.
Oh,
So the search to get to your great become that love, then no one can take it away from you.
because you are that.
That's
you
right.
are the love. Now we talked about energy before. Now is love? It is us.
It's everything about.
What happened? What happened? You mean it wasn't going? Or?
Right.
We're talking about love. Can you help me out as far as animals are concerned? Or we'll say bugs. We were talking about bugs and this type of thing. Explain to me. We'll say like people would feel, a fly flying around their head would bother them. How would you explain to have that not bother the person?
Well, if their quest is to get to their great, to use their full potential, you have to use the reaction you have to the fly. Stop. So that you don't have a reaction.
So in other words, if a fly is buzzing around or landing on my nose or my hair or something like that, just stay still?
Right.
Now, but what about that tension thing that we talked about before?
Well, this is the only way you're going to get the feedback to find out about potential. By seeing that a foreign object makes you frightened.
Oh, I see.
When that happens, that's when you have desire or a passion to remove the fear.
All right, and that's why some people will swat the fly or kill the spider in the house because
They're afraid of it.
there's fear. Now, what is fear?
Fear is like a wall to protect you from dying and protect you from somebody else hurting.
But it's protecting the ego then. Is that it?
That's right.
Is that so?
So you have to bypass the ego. Then you watch your body do the same thing. And since you have to keep getting to the big to offset the small. So you have to say, I am God and everything else is God. So how can I separate, even if it's a small object, it has the same energy as I do. I would like to get in touch with the same energy and communicate with it. That's how you get love.
So now the fly is on my nose, we'll say. Now I just let it stay there?
Yes.
Suppose that it bites me. Then what?
So then you watch if your immune system is working fine. So here's more education in the small world. I guarantee if you were big, the fly would never bite you. The fly would have to deal with you being the energy. And
Okay.
it might just say to itself, I can't deal with it, and it flies off and doesn't bite you. The only time an animal bites you or hurts you is when you react in fear. It reacts in fear, and then it runs.
No, this is interesting because that's how it works with people too, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So in other words, if a person is acting negative, then, or is it see things in a negative way, then I'm next to that person. I'm going to also absorb some of their negativity.
No, you're going to react. Your button is going to be pushed, and you're going to react the same way as monkeys see monkey do.
So I couldn't possibly react differently only if I had this love and this open energy.
That's right.
Then there would be No reaction?
No reaction. You just sit there and watch this person go nuts.
Because that is their mind and their opinion. Would you call it opinion?
Yeah, you can call it a
Yeah. Okay, so it's their opinion, their problem,
right, not yours anymore.
not mine anymore. But how would you work with this with, we'll say someone that's, deceiving you? Let's use it that way, because that happens to many people.
First of all, everybody's deceiving. That's
Oh,
number one.
okay.
The biggest
I didn't know that.
The biggest one is yourself.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so when you're not deceiving you, then everybody else can't deceive you. Because you see everything that's going on before they're even doing it. It's
So
when you are surprised. And when you're surprised, you contract and you have a reaction of fear.
I see.
If you're not surprised and you know what's going on, they can't deceive you. It's a comedy.
So, I see what you're saying. So you're saying even though they're playing their play in their head, playing that game, because you see it's a game, then you're not being deceived because you already know that,
Right.
that it's their game.
And you've closed off your emptiness and your filth. And I guess how people use another person.
Okay.
Blame.
All right.
He did this to me.
That you hear that a lot. Yes.
Okay? But in reality, what you're doing is you're projecting you into that person, and you're doing it through that person to you.
Oh, I see. I see. So it's always that exchange that we need to have that awareness take place.
That's right.
The
And so when
exchange.
you're working on you, then you're not projecting you into some empty other vessel to get back at you.
Right. Yeah, I'm working on me. When I'm working on me, I'm opening myself up to love, and
To the
that
whole universe.
the whole universe, and that's helping.
That's closing out emptiness. So they can't, nobody can put anything in.
So nothing. It's sort of like we'll say a bank. All right, you know the little piggy banks that have a little thing on the top, you know, where you put the pennies in or nickels or whatever. So you're a walking bank, and when you're empty, but if you have love and you're not empty, that bank is full.
That's right.
And so nobody can put their crazy penny in your bank.
That's right.
Oh, gee, that sounds easy. Easier said than done.
Right, because you're addicted to crash. You're addicted to making yourself a mess.
Mm-hmm. That's sort of like to feel like you're, we'll say, alive.
Yeah.
People do that to
Right,
feel
well,
like,
but
oh.
what it's really doing is to get the love, you reverse it from the outside. Since they continuously, as a child, been telling you you're a waste, if you make yourself a waste, you're going to get the attention.
Because that's how it worked before.
Yes.
I see.
And that's easy and it's familiar and that's the way it goes.
And